And in sports, South Africa dethroned as the #1 test team after losing to the English
in recognition of the 50th anniversary called Monarchs of the Mass, which will take place on Sunday, July 31st at Kensington Oval. We will move right into the emancipation celebrations and Grand Kadooment on Monday. And with the additional holiday, we will also gain an extra day for Bridgetown Market on Tuesday.
According to Minister Lashley, there will also be more cultural presentations in this year's 4-day morning parade, and Kensington Oval will play host to more major crop-over events.
As you know, the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium complex is scheduled for major renovations later this year, and the Pick of the Crop semis and final. For the first time, the Junior Monarch Calypso Monarch Final as well will all be held at Kensington Oval.
12 people are homeless after fire broke out in Water Street, Christchurch this morning. That blaze affected 2 wood and wall properties. One was destroyed while a neighboring structure was extensively damaged. 7 fire officers, along with Divisional Officer Errol Gasking and Station Officer Denton Foster, responded to that fire just after 10:30.
The biggest problems was the emotional reactions of the residents. 4 were taken to the hospital with respiratory disorders and asthmatic conditions, and 1 had a laceration, a serious laceration to the hand. Subsequently, we brought the fire under control, and now we are trying to recover or help the residents to recover from the damages, emotional damages as well as physical damages.
Well, some of the occupants were not at home when that fire started. However, some neighbors pitched in to help with the firefighting efforts.
I was in town. Actually, I was in town when one of my grandmother friends, she stopped me and asked me whose house was burning down this morning in the fire. And I asked she, how many whose house was burning down? We left one since morning. We left one, and the house wasn't burning. She said she not too long got a call saying that the house was burning. And then my mother phone was ringing earlier, but we couldn't answer it because we had a lot of things in my hand.
I just saying, when I get here, I saw the fire, right? So I jumped out the house and tell the fire, give me the word. So I keep wetting, wet myself, wet the house. And then the fire said me, come on, quick, because he inside burning. So when I come inside, I pull up in the door, and a good friend of mine, right? He got a big long cut across there, and then he back out there and see me. They had to get the way down. Right, but anyway, it was a serious fire.
A former deputy principal of the University of the West Indies Cape Hill campus says there needs to be a greater partnership with the private sector. Professor Pedro Welch says there is still a need for more student loans at affordable rates to ensure that everyone has access to tertiary education.
Barrett's vision is still intact. It's still there. But there are realities that you have to face. But my vision for the future is a system in which persons pursue their education, but after they've completed their education, you have access to the funding. So when you finish, you pay. Through the pay-away system, you will capture practically nearly everybody in Barbados. And therefore, people can't hide. They can pay, but after they've got that step up. That's what I'm hoping for.
Professor Welch was a featured speaker at the Democratic Labour Party's weekly lunchtime lecture. His speech focused on the father of independence, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow. Professor Welch believes as the island prepares to celebrate its 50th anniversary of independence, the speeches of the late leader and national hero should be required reading in the constitutional history of Barbados.
I know there's a book edited and published, but it has so many speeches. But particularly that very extensive reporting for the House Assembly in 1965, that needs to be reproduced so people can read it for themselves. I'm sharing some with you. So we are exposed to the analysis of this erudite thinker, this forthright leader. And the analysis tells us that the push towards full independence for Barbados was based on a pragmatism buttressed by a sound knowledge of the socio-economic and political dynamics resident not only in the region, but also in the island of Barbados itself. His powers of analysis were tremendous.
Clinical psychologist at Verdon House, Dr. Tareen Griffith, is cautioning the general public about labeling drug addicts as mad or stupid. She says that these labels socially exclude drug addicts when they really need help with their drug dependency. Dr. Griffith explains that drug dependency impacts work life and family relationships.
You put them on a warning, you tell them they're going to lose their job, and they still use. Now we're talking addiction. Okay? They might, their spouse might leave them, their kids might be taken away, and they still continue to use. Now we can say they're either bad, mad, or stupid, but really they're addicted.
Dr. Griffith says a predictable pattern generally develops.
That is our norm. You know, you go to cricket and, you know, somebody may pull out 2 beers and give.
Recent statistics show that in 2008, the average age of farmers was 50, while in 2015, the number dropped to 38 years for registered farmers. In light of attracting younger people to the agricultural sector, Minister Dr. David Eswick says a stronger agricultural program will be incorporated in the school's curriculum. The minister says this is a strategy in moving Barbados forward and attracting youths to replenish the fading numbers of the aging farmers.
In an effort to ensure that agriculture is considered as a career choice, the Ministry of Agriculture will very shortly be seeking a meeting with the officials of the Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation to address agricultural curriculum development and to seek to ensure that the curriculum in the schools adequately meets the employment needs within the agricultural sector.
Minister Eswick says to ensure food and nutrition security in the country, the Food and Agricultural Organization and the International Fund for Agricultural Development have partnered to create more employment opportunities in the agricultural sector.
The Food and Agricultural Organization, in association with the International Fund for Agricultural Development, has recently undertaken a project.
The government's move came as official figures released by the central bank showed that the Venezuelan economy had contracted by 4.5% in the first 9 months of 2015. While Iran has released the Washington Post reporter and 3 other Iranian-American prisoners in an apparent prisoner swap with the U.S. Rizan, 39, was jailed on charges including espionage last November. The United States said it was offering clemency to 7 Iranians being held in the U.S. for sanctions violations. On Saturday evening, after talks in Vienna, international sanctions on Iran were lifted as part of the nuclear deal, which was agreed to last year. And sports is just ahead with Damian Best.
Invite you to come down to Maycox, have a look, and just picture what Barbados may have looked like when these trees were prolific along our coastline.
And so, within this one tree, you have this mass of information related both to the nature and the propagation of the plant itself, but also to the history and indigenous relationship with the island that the Portuguese called Os Barbados.
Trees, the Silent Sentinels, Sunday at 7:30 p.m., repeated on Saturday at 6 p.m. Trees, the Silent Sentinels.
Viewers are asked to note, this Saturday, January 16th, CBC TV8 will air QTV at 7:30 p.m. to accommodate a repeat broadcast of the launch of the 50th anniversary independence celebrations. That's QTV at 7:30 p.m. this Saturday only.
Get free Facebook and Instagram with any new Digicel 4G data plan with Barbados' fastest 4G network. Digicel data.
Digicel data for life. Data for life. Data for life. Yeah.
Get free Facebook and Instagram with any new Digicel 4G data plan. Snap, record, post, and share instantly on Facebook and Instagram anywhere across the island with Barbados' fastest 4G network. Digicel 4G. Dial star 153# to sign up and start using Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him. De Villiers gone. Oh, What a catch! That is unbelievable! Bowling. Lovely drive. Chase for Broad. Ball wins.